All right. Now, listen.
I'm listening.
I think know me, that I don't like to, I don't like this type of like schoolyard, juvenile bullying type of stuff that goes on. And I'm not like a gossipy type of chit chatter type of person. But I am trying to change and be more like that. And so in service of that, I present to you, as you know me, that, for quite some time, I have been dodged, or I should say Steven Crowder was dodging me. And I'm not suggesting that the whole coronavirus was his way of avoiding, getting into a debate with me, although it did sort of come up at a time where there was, very close to the peak pressure on him. He avoided me at Politicon about 2 years ago. He avoided an invitation from Politicon this year to debate me. Wouldn't do it, was afraid. He was scheduled to go on that Gavin McGinnis's or McKinnis's or whatever, how they pronounce that guy's name, show. And McGinnis was going to give me $5,000, undoubtedly going to give Crowder at least $5,000 to sit down and, just even appear with me. Wouldn't do it. Very nervous about it because supposedly, he's got 4 million subscribers, maybe 5 million on YouTube now. And we just have about 1 million or whatever, 850,000, somewhere around there. I don't know what it is. And so that was his excuse. Now, how public have I been about this? I mean, Matt, I know you guys were like saying like my comment, did I want, you said, you asked me, Matt, did you want to share your point about Crowder? Matt, what was your point about Crowder? Or no, it was a while ago.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's nothing. Perhaps he may be worth some sympathy, but really no. Today he's out talking about how COVID deaths are inflated. So I think we should report the news as planned.
Well, okay. Yeah. And like, look, I've always had a theory about Crowder. Okay. And, and I'm not going to get too specific about the theory because, sometimes it's like it's not appropriate. But when I was told that he was backing out of the debate, Politicon, the first time around, in fact, we put out a video where you can hear the person tell me. I accidentally recorded the conversation. And I was told the reason why he got cold feet is what they said. That was the quote. He got cold feet. And the person who was telling me said, I think it's because his dad told him not to. And apparently his dad is a wrestling coach or former wrestling coach.
Oh, my God.
And is also his manager.
Oh.
Now,
Dadager.
Look, I don't know if people have seen The Great Santini. This was a movie that was from back, I guess, in the 80s. And it was with, what's his face? Oh, gosh, I can't even remember. He's very famous. He was the Tom Hagen in all the good Godfather movie.
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall, right. Robert Duvall. And Duvall was a very overbearing father and would really pick on his son. Now, I have a theory about Crowder, because one of the things that really marks Steven Crowder, I mean, if you were to just basically try and just to sum up Crowder from afar, his big comedy shtick, and remember, this is a grown man.
Right.
In his, at least in his 20s, maybe he's in his 30s by now. His whole shtick is like making fun of gay people. And it's very odd. Like, I understand, okay, you're in junior high, you don't know any better, and you're feeling awkward about yourself or something, and because you don't have the emotional development, you take it out on on gay people. I don't approve of it, but it's in a juvenile, for somebody who maybe is raised by an overly machismo dad, and you're worried about, questions that you're having in mind when you're in junior high or something. But there's really no explanation for why a Steven Crowder would be so, as an adult, like gay, like you're making fun of gay people as like your humor stick. And it's very strange. I've always thought that'd be very, very strange. And I thought maybe this is a guy who, you know, he works out a lot and he's, you know, he's got big, big muscles. And it's almost like he's really trying to project that he's a man's man. And, you know, anyways, so it was with that sort of like understanding of Steven Crowder that I saw these tweets from the great Vic Berger last night. And apparently Vic Berger back in the day had a conversation with Greg Gutfeld. It looks like a DM. And now listen, well, we'll get to this part, but apparently Vic Berger is talking out of school. You know, he's revealing the contents of a private a conversation. But, you know, to be honest, Greg Gutfeld's not that great of a person either. And so this is reporting. I don't think Gutfeld ever said this is off the record. So, you know, that's what a good reporter does. You got to be careful when you talk to reporters, folks. So here's Vic Berger. And let's see some of these clips here. First, he says, there's still time for Crowder to grow up when he finally comes out and marries his personal trainer. I wonder what that was supposed to be about. Okay. I mean, Gutfeld's a funny guy. There he goes. Maybe. And he wouldn't. He has issues. I met him at a bar once, said Gutfeld. He sat Indian style on the floor in the middle of a crowded bar. And Vic Berger said, that's insane. He also, no joke, ordered milk. He's such a weirdo, said Vic Berger. Yeah, which would be cool if it wasn't him. He wants to be a star, and he hates everyone who took that risk, and he didn't. He calls himself a comedian, but doesn't perform. That's how the Schumer thing started. I would not let him call himself a comedian on my show. And Amy knew that. I hated him for saying he performs.
Oh, my gosh.
There's Gutfeld. Yeah. And his musical thing was so painful, I wanted to cry for his family. Ha, 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 says Vic Berger. And he's in love with his body. He thinks he's got an issue with his sexuality, which is fine, says Gutfeld. And then Vic Berger says, yeah, any chance he can get, he's shirtless or in drag, tight yoga pants. And Gutfeld says, but it's so obvious to everyone but him, which is usually the truth. Yes, he's always like a Chippendale. And he was only at Fox News for like 6 months. We all hated him. And he acts like he was a badass who left Fox News. None of us could stand him. This is really, I feel badly about this.
Really?
You know, I mean, it's a little bit sad. Of course, let's put up what Steven Crowder tweeted today so that we can get rid of some of our guilt for amplifying this. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Here we go. What is Steven Crowder? I'm hanging out at the, here we go. Here he is. He's outside smoking his cigar because he's a man.
Yeah, exactly. He's not wearing a tight shirt, though. I'm a little surprised.
He's kicking back. The COVID death count is inflated. Change my mind.
He's using a chair.
Huh?
He's also using a chair, which is interesting.
Where is he?
Why is that interesting? He's using a chair.
Well, he's not sitting Indian style as Gutfeld said.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that milk?
So there it is. So, I mean, good for him. And there it is, Steven Crowder. And I got to, if anything, I feel.
The Crowder, though.
Huh?
There's another series of DMs about Crowder.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
About his.
Pop it up.
All right.
I mean, look, this is not like you're, this is just, here we go. Let's see. There's more to this. Okay, I think so. I had a weird chat with him before he got married, and it made me uncomfortable because I didn't know him well enough for that. This is Gutfeld. This is back in 2017. He was asking me what I thought of the looks of his fiance. And Vic Berger said, ooh, not good. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That is a very weird thing. I don't know if I've ever experienced that. I've always found it really weird where like men have ever commented on my ex-wife or my girlfriend or something like that. I just always found that like uncomfortable. Like what like that's weird.
Well, don't they they don't do that to other people. You don't ask each other. Women do that. They'll say, probably before you're dating, like, what do you think of this guy? Should I?
Well, no, there's
women are way worse about this than men, in my experience. Actually, women talk about men in pretty amazing ways, and I don't think
you're
guys
objects.
Actually do.
You're just you're our toys, guys.
The idea of me saying to somebody like, "What do you think? Do you think my girlfriend is hot?" It's a weird thing to say. And then he says, "My God, how effed up is that? She is beautiful," but he couldn't judge. It was like he was shopping for a car, was asking a friend to take it for a test drive. I nodded and wondered how I got into this mess. Wow. Now, I wonder, do you think, here's the question. First off, I think that's really weird. I just think that, like, I don't know, like, if you're dating someone and you think that they're attractive, like, isn't that the relevant part? Not whether some strange guy who works with you is, I don't know, like.
I mean, to be fair, I have asked you and Matt at work, what you think of my partners.
Right.
And
of course, we
rate
them. We
rate
them. And we say, like honestly, like,
that's what that wall was. I saw these women on the wall with like a scale of 1 to 10. I couldn't figure out what was going on over there.
Oh yeah, no, that's what we do.
The rating wall, right?
I mean, Brendan, how freaked out would you be if I came in, and we'll talk about the strange, but how freaked out if you would you, like, how would you respond if I said, like, hey, do you think my new girlfriend is attractive? If
this woman that I'm marrying, do you think she's attractive? The wedding is set.
I almost expect it to be like worse, like locker room talk, like Donald Trump talk. Like, he's in that weird zone where men who were, I do know Greg Gutfeld, and I haven't had any like weird creepy vibes from him. So I'll say, from what I can tell, he respects women that he works with. And then there's the zone of Donald Trump. So that in between is like a wannabe, like they think they watch Trump, somebody who's not comfortable in whatever his experience is in life. Maybe it's not sexuality. Maybe it's just his father is oppressive. Like you said,
right.
Going back to the original point. And it's their way of overcompensating because that's what the identity of masculinity is based on what his father, pushed him into. So seeing Trump and like the locker room talk, maybe that's his version.
I guess, but there's something. I mean, it's very possible. I think that's true. The thing I find about it, it's like it really is like. Do you like? And it's not just like you could extend the car analogy too as being like some type of like a penis surrogate. Like, I want to make sure that people know that I'm a virile guy. So is my girlfriend up to like? Do you think that she's like? Attractive enough to project that I'm like a guy, like a real, like a masculine guy or something. I don't know. It's a very weird thing, I think. Now, what do you guys think? I mean, is this, I feel a little bit bad for Gutfeld, but I'm also sort of convinced that Gutfeld was probably disappointed that Vic Berger didn't put this out earlier.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think that's all very plausible.
Well, Vic did it because Gutfeld continues to propagandize for Trump. So he is getting at Gutfeld too, and I think that's what makes this even more beautiful in a way.
Well, the other thing that apparently Gutfeld did was, I think Nomi, we're losing Nomi. I think the other thing that Gutfeld did was he also sort of flipped on Mike Cernovich, and not in the good way. Put up this one.
Second.
Vic Berger's really emptying out. There you are, Nomi. You're back.
Sorry.
That's all right. We're going to play now. Vic Berger also put up a little exchange he had about Cernovich with Gutfeld. Now, this is in early 2017, so before Cernovich. And now I know Tom Shalhoub, and Tom Shalhoub is a comedian. He took over Red Eye. I don't know if that show's still going on.
No. They canceled it.
Oh, did they? He took over Red Eye. I remember when I tried to get Tom Shalhoub on the show to always debate him, but he was always a little bit nervous about doing this. Is years ago. And I remember he was like trying to get Red Eye, and I was like, well, good luck, man. And so Gutfeld's talking about, I lost respect for Tom Shalhoub that night. I was actually in the green room doing O'Reilly and saw Cernovich mulling about but didn't recognize him. Then saw it the next day when Ben Kissel, who's a comedian on the show, told me. Everyone was livid. That was when they brought Cernovich on the program. I mean, it's interesting to me to see. Hold on, yeah, he makes Crowder look talented about Cernovich. Now, it's interesting to me. I got to say that Gutfeld has like any standards whatsoever. I mean, he works on Fox. It's not like, Cernovich is an outlier there or Crowder's an outlier. I mean, they were hired there, or Cernovich wasn't hired there, but and Vic Berger makes the point of saying, just to show you how much Greg Gutfeld is sold out, here he is telling me about the time Weird Mike Cernovich was let on Fox News. And then last night, this is what you get.
I have to say.
Hold on. He goes on, he promotes it. Play the, show the other clip, Brendan. The other picture. Oh, did we lose Brendan? Oh, here it is. So here he is, Greg Gutfeld. I'd like to highlight Brian Stelter's new book called Hoax. Here's a link I found to learn more about it. Best of luck to him. And it's actually the Mike Cernovich documentary.
What a worm.
And, yeah, wow. What a worm. I guess that's what you got to do.
I think this just he's illustrated it really well. I mean, my experiences, I did a lot of Fox News from like 2012 to probably right around that time, 2017. I used to be on the O'Reilly show once a week and then Megyn Kelly twice a week. And so I had a lot of interactions with specifically Gutfeld and Tom Shalhoub. I used to do his show a couple times a week. And their shift from being like libertarians who were, I would enjoy being on their shows more than, say, Bill O'Reilly, which felt like walking into a hostel. I mean, I felt like I was being taken hostage when I walked into his studio. So there's definitely like they were like the easier hosts to be around, but to see the shift, the drastic shift after Trump, which, it's like everybody in the industry. Everybody's trying to adapt to the clicks. Everybody's trying to adapt to the audience, what the audience wants, and it's self-preservation, I think. I mean, he's not anything near what he used to be when I would go on that show. I don't go on it at all anymore, but it went from being like a libertarian, an anti-Trumper, to whatever this is.